In the fast-paced world of app and web development, choosing the right framework or library is crucial. React has been a popular choice, but it's time to reassess its fit for your development needs. Hi, I'm Mike Monroe. I've been working in software development since my first job at a startup in 1999. And today, I'm going to share 5 reasons why React might not be the ideal choice for your web applications any longer. Reason 1, reliance on other libraries in the JavaScript ecosystem. React's heavy reliance on the JavaScript ecosystem can be a double-edged sword. The need to integrate with various third-party libraries for state management, routing, and other functionalities means more time spent in setup and configuration as opposed to actual development time. The vast JavaScript ecosystem offers multiple libraries for the same functionality, leading to decision fatigue. Developers must spend time researching, learning, and deciding which libraries to use. This process can be time-consuming and sometimes overwhelming, especially for newer developers. In reality, what usually happens is that a decision is made, then changed 6 to 12 months later to be replaced with a different library. One of the bigger challenges managed through third-party libraries is state management. For those that don't fully understand what state management is, put simply, state management refers to managing how data is created, updated, and shared throughout your application. A good example is that you have a signed-in user. If the user updates their first name in your user settings, that name needs to be shown correctly throughout your application. The challenges that come up often with state management is should it be managed on the client, in the browser, or on the server? What tools should be used? Redux, SWR, React Query? There's a lot to unravel here for a core piece of functionality that leads to complexity that just isn't needed. To close out reason 1, the reliance on third-party libraries presents a huge maintenance challenge over time as your application grows. Small toy applications shown off on YouTube don't have these problems, but real applications in use by real companies out there feel this pain every day. Reason 2, frequent updates and rapid changes. React's development ecosystem is known for its frequent updates and rapid changes, reflecting the evolving needs and practices in web development. 2 significant shifts have been the move from higher-order components to hooks and the increasing emphasis on server-side rendering. Let's go deeper into these changes to understand their implications. Before hooks were introduced, higher order components were a popular pattern to share logic between components. While powerful, higher order components could lead to complexities, such as prop name collisions and issues with components getting nested within multiple other higher order components, making code harder to read and debug. Hooks provided a more straightforward way to use state and other React features in functional components. They allow developers to more easily hook into React state and lifecycle features. Hooks simplified component logic, made more code reusable, and improved readability and maintainability. Traditionally, React, like many other JavaScript frameworks, focused on client-side rendering, where JavaScript runs in the browser to render pages. While this approach is great for interactive applications, particularly in SEO optimization and initial page load times. More recently, there's been a shift towards server-side rendering in the React ecosystem, highlighted by development of frameworks like Next.js. Server-side rendering renders pages on the server and sends them to the client as fully rendered HTML. This approach improves SEO as search engines can crawl content more effectively and enhances the initial page load performance, providing a better user experience, especially for content-heavy sites. Modern React frameworks like Next.js offer a hybrid approach, allowing developers to choose between client-side rendering, server-side rendering, or static site generation based on the web app's requirements. This flexibility is a significant advancement, catering to diverse needs in web applications. Each significant update in React brings a learning curve. Developers need to stay updated with the latest practices, which can be challenging, especially for teams working on large or legacy projects. Adopting new patterns often requires refactoring existing code. For instance, transitioning from higher order components to hooks involves significant changes in how components are written and composed. While server-side rendering offers performance benefits, it also introduces complexity in terms of server load and architecture. Developers need to balance client-side interactivity with server-side efficiency. These shifts lead to fragmentation, with different teams adopting different practices based on their project timelines and requirements. Does your head hurt? Mine does. This is all just madness. Reason 3, performance issues. Although simple apps built with React don't have enough code to lead to performance issues, real applications built with React have some challenges that can lead to slow application performance. Some of the causes of those challenges are rendering components more than needed, large component trees, inefficient state management, memory leaks from improper component cleanup, and side effects from hooks. There's a lot going on in React with a lot of ground to stay on top of. Over time, As apps get larger, keeping performance at peak becomes harder and harder to do. Reason 4, SEO challenges. Traditional React applications rely heavily on client-side rendering, where JavaScript handles the rendering of content in the browser. While this is great for user experience and interactivity, it poses a problem for search engines that may not execute JavaScript or may not do it as efficiently as a browser. This means that if a search engine crawls a React application, it might see a large empty HTML document, as the content hasn't been fully rendered yet. React applications, especially those that are poorly optimized, can suffer from longer initial load times due to the need to download a large JavaScript bundle before the application can be rendered. Search engines, like Google, consider page load times as a ranking factor, so longer load times can definitely negatively impact SEO. Reason 5, inconsistent implementation of TypeScript. Although not specific to React, one of the bigger issues I see with companies using a JavaScript framework is the inconsistent implementation of TypeScript. While TypeScript offers robust benefits, its integration into JavaScript and React projects is often partial or inconsistent. Teams may find themselves using TypeScript in only certain parts of their codebase, leading to a fragmented and less maintainable code structure. This inconsistency can negate the advantages TypeScript is supposed to bring, like improved code quality and developer productivity. In theory, TypeScript can be a positive addition, but in practice, it's usually a detriment. TypeScript is much easier to implement when starting an app from scratch, but much harder to introduce into a legacy application. Today, I shared 5 reasons why I don't use React. If you are using React and having success with it, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear some of the reasons why you think it fits well within your team. I spent years developing in React, but could never get comfortable with it as my framework of choice. I'm a much bigger fan of Ruby on Rails. If you're not familiar with Rails, check out my video. We'll link to it here. Ruby on Rails explained in 6 minutes. Thanks for watching.